Jimenez is a pretty ruthless racer. He's tried to put Nick Foster in the wall at every possible opportunity.
I thought old mate was a bit rude there.
Jimenez just showing Nick Foster the barriers again.
Sergio tried to put Nick in the fence. I've known Nick since I was 10 years old, and he's not going to give up like that.
Really there's contact on the run down into turn 2. Jimenez is almost getting turned around.
So I showed him what's what, and he learned his lesson.
Cacabueno has not activated attack mode. He might have lost the chance to win.
I don't know what's happened for me inside the car. Probably I make some mistake.
It's brave stuff from Evans. They go side by side.
It's still a long way to go. Every point you can get is so valuable.
It's a third win of the season. And the winner's trophy for Sergio Jimenez.
Now I need to keep the cool and keep the drivers behind me.
Hello and welcome to one of the most relentless weekends in motorsport history. We are at the sweltering Tempelhof airfield just south of the Berlin city centre. This is round 6 of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. Tomorrow is Super Sunday. We've got 2 more rounds. One of them is going to be a reverse grid, which means that those drivers who are sat on top of the series table will start at the back of the grid. So, ladies and gentlemen, sharpen your elbows, please. Let's get back to today. Sergio Jimenez, he's 9 points adrift of Simon Evans, the Kiwi. Let's talk about his compatriot, Cacabueno. He's had 2 pole positions and 1 victory here in Berlin so far. He is a man on a mission. But there's a new boy on the grid, Nick Foster. He's not here to make up the numbers. Oh no, he's here to definitely compete and make a difference. So it's all to play for. Now, we know that the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY qualification is really important because more often than not, the person who sits on pole goes on to be victorious. So let's go to Jack Nicholls for the highlights of today's quali.
Well, the drivers headed out onto the circuit and the traditional Berlin Tempelhof track layout as the temperatures soared past 35 degrees. Simon Evans came out of the blocks fast to set a lap time to beat. VIP driver Abby Eaton struggled to find performance as she came across the line. But fellow W Series driver Alice Powell was looking to improve from her previous qualifying performances and did a very good job. Double pole sitter Cacabueno pushed a little too hard, ending his session early. But as the checkered flag fell, it was Sergio Jimenez who topped the time sheets with Evans less than half a tenth behind. Another strong performance from Nick Foster puts him in 3rd. Powell improves from her previous grid spot to take 4th, with Cacabueno left in a disappointing 5th. And it was business as usual in the Pro-Ams, with Fahad Al-Ghassabi taking pole and is well on his way to a series title.
Amanda, so far, so good. It's been action-packed since we arrived in Berlin.
It has. I don't think anyone could have hoped for a better Berlin Tempelhof. And I think it's really important that we don't underestimate what we have got going on this weekend. Like Formula E, it's an intense finale to the season. But what we've got going on here is 7 races, not 6, 7. As you just mentioned, 2 races tomorrow as well. Nobody has really experienced anything like this. Race, with just a couple of days off, 3 days off in total over the 9. And it is hard. If you lose momentum, if you lose your head, it's very hard to get back on track. And then, of course, Super Sunday, second race tomorrow, is this reverse grid. Now, the way that's worked out is the average points that each driver has scored in the number of races that they've competed in will determine their grid position, but in reverse. So obviously, if you've scored maximum points in each race, that means in 4 races, that's obviously the same, and you're going to be at the back of the grid. And then for drivers like Abby, for the beady-eared viewers out there, of course, her average is going to be divided by the 2 races that she's taken part in.
Okay, I think I'll have to get my calculator out, but I'll be all right. Calculator, pen, pencil, might even use a protractor, which I've not used since high school.
The problem is with this heat as well, of course. You've really got to get your brain working as well.
But a reverse grid is really exciting because we know that this new version of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY with attack mode, you really do have to sharpen your elbows. We're going to say that a lot, but it's what it takes to get round the insides and the outsides when overtaking.
That's right. Now, we have seen some amazing, immense action so far this weekend, particularly between championship leader Sergio Jimenez and new boy Nick Foster. In the first race, Nick made an absolute blinding start and went around the outside of Sergio, as you see here. So Nick is currently in third, making the move around Sergio, who wasn't expecting it, and pushes Nick into the wall. They stay alongside one another, and again, Nick gets squeezed into the wall. Now, at this point, he's thinking, I don't think so. He's got the line going into the right-hander, and here you see Nick actually makes the move stick. Now, Sergio was fuming. This is then what happened the next day. There we go. We've got Nick defending his line. If you look, you can see Simon Evans in front. That's the racing line. Sergio Jimenez, again, heavily trying to defend and actually push Nick Foster out of the way. Nick, he's hoping Nick is going to bail out of the corner, but Nick doesn't. He holds his ground and actually gains the position. So between these two, it's just going to be immense, I think, going into today as well.
It really is, because both of our Brazilians are putting in sterling performances, but they're both very, very aggressive drivers. And it's nice to see that we've got someone like Nick come along and say, listen, guys, you've had it all your own way pretty much.
Kaká has had such a tough time. He came in hoping to score maximum points this weekend, trying to get poles, race wins, or take a sweep. What ended up happening yesterday, he missed the attack zone. Now here you can actually see what happened. He pulled away too soon, therefore not activating that final loop. Now from the car, it's really hard to see. He was fuming.
Okay, well, it really is going to be awesome and exciting. Let's take a look at the track here in Tempelhof. Remember, the first two races were on a reverse version of this.
So we're 2 races into this lockdown showdown, and we've got a mammoth weekend ahead of us because, of course, we've got 3 races culminating in Super Sunday. But in order to shake things up a bit, we've reversed the track layout for this, and the drivers are going to be reverting back to the original Berlin Tempelhof track. So let's go and take a look. Turn 1 is always really important at the start, particularly when you're after track position, but no more so than here in Tempelhof, the endless turn 1. And it's really important you get a really good exit because, of course, that is going to set you up for the rest of the lap. Now, when it comes to the race, you definitely don't want to be going out wide like Adam Carroll did last year.
Oh, Adam Carroll's gone way too wide.
What a drift that was from Carroll.
With the amount of racing that we've had going on this weekend here in Berlin, you're going to pick up these. Now, these are marbles, and it's bits of discarded rubber that are scattered all around the outside. What happens is, on the hot, sticky tyres, they get picked up, they cause vibration, and they can completely disrupt the handling of your car. Now, this is the attack mode. We saw drivers getting caught out here in the previous 2 races, particularly Kaká Bueno, who actually lost the lead because he didn't activate it properly.
And Bueno's missed attack mode. Kaká Bueno has not activated attack mode, I don't think.
Drivers have got to get their car evenly across these gates, and that way they'll get an extra 20% boost in power.
So Jimenez activates attack mode. He is now going to try and charge up to the back of Evans.
So this is turn 9. It's the corner that we saw most overtaking on so far, and I expect we're going to see a lot more now. Drivers have got to be really late on the brakes if they're going to defend or outbrake somebody. And of course, this is where we saw Sergio Jimenez and Nick Foster, newcomer to the championship, going head to head, and I see more fireworks ahead.
Jimenez is definitely getting turned around. Foster was not letting Jimenez pass.
So with 3 races in just 2 days, I cannot wait to see what excitement this new track layout is going to present.
This is round 6 of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. We are coming to you live from a sweltering Tempelhof airfield just south of Berlin city centre. Round 6 is on its way. Amanda caught up with our series leader, Sergio Jimenez.
Well, Sergio, you must be happy. You're starting to really get a grip on this now and you're ruining everybody else's party.
Well, I think it's we need to go one day per day. And as I said in the beginning, I didn't start very well, but keep calm, focus, and working on the car, for the car doing what I want. And now seems to be better than yesterday, and I keep working that and to keep in the front because make life a little bit easy.
Simon, P2, you must be absolutely thrilled with that because you got a chance of sticking there with Sergio.
Yeah, it's super close as well. That last lap was really good. So yeah, it's going to be all on come this race. I can't wait to get stuck in.
So Nick, P3, are you happy with that? You've obviously got Sergio and Simon in front of you.
Yeah, I think it's a positive step forward. I mean, we've been pretty consistent at the pointy end all the way through. I think you see even the other guys dropping back forward. So to be sort of the most consistent of the four of us kind of at the front is quite good, and made some improvements. Didn't really put a lap together, but to still be there is quite okay.
So the grid is formed ahead of the third race of this Berlin escapade, the lockdown showdown. A very good afternoon to you. It's going to be a fascinating race. There's no doubt about this one. Sergio Jimenez starting on pole position. His title rival Simon Evans alongside him on the front row of the grid. This is a look at the circuit. It's the backwards circuit. Backwards. So it's the traditional Berlin layout, the rundown into the left-hander of turn 1 that just goes on and on and on. Then it doubles back into turns 2 and 3. Then the left-hander at 4, all the way down the back straight. This is where we'll see some good overtaking opportunities because you can overtake into turn 6. Going the other way, it's a bit more difficult to. Attack mode activation is on the outside of turn 6. 2 lots of 2-minute attack mode periods for the drivers to use. Then up into turn 10, another overtaking opportunity before coming out over the start-finish straight to complete the lap. 25 minutes plus 1 lap of racing coming up. The grid is formed. They're about to move into position. And with me in commentary for this race is W Series racer Jessica Hawkins. Let's take a look at the grid. Sergio Jimenez is going to be the man starting on pole position. Spooner is at the back. Phil Spooner after a difficult qualifying for him. Then we've got Adalberto Baptista in 10th position. The VIP driver for these two races is Abby Eaton. Did a 1 minute 26.9, just slightly slower than Fahad Al-Ghassabi, the Pro-Am Championship leader. Then it's Takuma Ryoki starting in 7th position. Gregory Sagaz is in 6th spot, just behind Caca Bueno. Really difficult performance and afternoon for Caca Bueno. We're only managing 5th place. Alice Powell back on form. 4th on the grid in qualifying. Nick Foster is in 3rd place. And then the two championship rivals, Simon Evans and Sergio Jimenez, right together at the front of the field. As I said, Jessica Hawkins with me for this one. Jess, looking forward to this race. Having the two title protagonists at the front is going to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I think we're in for a real treat this race. I'm certainly looking forward to tomorrow's racing too. I'm certainly looking forward to the reverse grid. Yeah, I think we're in for a good race.
Okay, so the car's about to get going and go charging down towards turn 1. There is Jimenez. There's the hooter. That means the cars will now pull forward into their starting grid positions. We've seen so much action in the start of these Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY races. There is Caca Bueno having a look around, a reminder that, and of course, sorry, there's 3 races for Abby Eaton, isn't there? Because we've got 2 on Sunday. So Super Sunday coming up tomorrow. 2 races. The second one is going to be a reverse grid race, so very much looking forward to that. Abby must have been a little bit frustrated with her qualifying performances.
Yeah, I think she was kind of disappointed, to be honest. But as I say, it's tough to come in halfway through a race season, let alone halfway through a race meeting. So yeah, I think she's disappointed. I think she would qualify slightly better for tomorrow's race, so I guess she'll be looking to make as many passes as she can.
Indeed, so we're just waiting for the cars to pull forward into position. There is Abby Eaton, 9th place. Did 2 races earlier this year in Diriyah and was very strong there. Finished in 5th and 4th places in the opening 2 races respectively. And now the cars pull forward into position. Jimenez just edging forward a little bit to be as far forward as possible. Simon Evans actually looks the tiniest bit far back in his grid slot, but Jimenez starting on pole position, and we'll see what the Brazilian can do. It's his second pole of the year, was on pole in the second race in Diria, but Caca Bueno has taken all the positions, the pole positions so far here. Waiting for the lights once all the cars are in position. 25 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Get underway. Decent enough start for Jimenez, and in fact Nick Foster looks like he's got the best getaway, trying to get up the inside of Simon Evans. Evans comes across, closes the door. 4th place is Alice Powell, and Caca Bueno is going to send it right round the outside of Alice Powell at turn 1, and that's good work from the Brazilian. Powell drops down into 5th place. The two Saudi cars getting involved there as they go side by side. In fact, it's Takuma Aoki who just loses out, but Sergio Jimenez is out in front. Simon Evans in 2nd, Nick Foster 3rd. But what a brave move that was, Jess, around the outside from Caca Bueno at turn 1.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was a strong move. He held it around the outside for the whole thing, and that was a great move. And I guess Alice now needs to be on the attack to try and recoup that position.
There is the attack mode activation down the outside of turn 5. Spooner sending one up the inside, in fact straight into attack mode there. That is Gregory Seguez, and he's down in 10th place, so must have got a bad start, lost a couple of places. Abby Eaton is up to 5th as a result, and deciding to use his attack mode earlier on. They get 20% extra power in the attack mode, so it really makes a big difference, and that strategical element is going to be fascinating between Jimenez and Evans up at the front. And the good thing for Evans is that he's got Nick Foster, who's not exactly his teammate, but the two of them known each other since they were 10 years old, so I think Foster will do all he can to help Evans with Caca Bueno in 4th, because yesterday Evans got slightly balked, or 2 days ago, by the fact that the two Brazilians could work together in Caca Bueno and Sergio Jimenez. Down into turn 1 they come at the end of lap 1, 23 minutes plus a lap to go. Alice Powell is staying with the top 4, then 6th is Algasebi, 5th is Powell, 6th is Algasebi, 7th is Takuma Aoki, and 8th is Abby Eaton, and they're already pulling clear of Alberto Baptista, Seguez and Spooner as they come down the back straight into the hairpin. But Jimenez has got a comfortable little lead at the moment. It's not huge, but it's enough.
Yeah, they want to just make sure that they don't start fighting amongst themselves to let Jimenez get away. He doesn't look like he's doing so at the moment, but if one goes in on the other, then I guess that is a possibility. And it's great to see the racing so close, actually. You know, there's a lot of racing nowadays that are spread out quite a lot, so it's great to see the cars are so evenly matched. And there's a few of them that haven't been in a car for a while. For instance, Abby, she's not been in a car for a while. Alice, you know, the first rounds were quite a long time ago now, so it's great to come back and it be so close.
Yeah, Caca Bueno, I think, is the only driver who's done some racing. Last weekend, he was in Brazil racing in the Brazilian Stock Car Championship, but everyone else is making their return now. Nick Foster in 3rd place is doing a good job. He's right up behind Simon Evans. Now, it's been a bit weird the first 2 races for Nick Foster. He then dropped back in the second half of the race. He looked quick early on and then started to drop back and fall away, so we'll see if that happens here. Caca Bueno has, I don't think that graphic is correct on the left. I don't think he has used his first attack mode. He's still got 2 remaining, so it's only Gregory Seguez who has used 1 attack mode, and Jimenez's lead now is up to 0.8 of a second. Evans lying in 2nd place, Foster 3rd, Bueno, Powell, Algasebi the top 6, then it's Aoki, Eaton, Seguez, Baptista and Spooner, and there is the little gap from Takuma Aoki to Abby Eaton there, former racer in, well, all sorts of things. MX5 Super Cup champion back in the UK, raced a lot of GT cars as well, and due to be doing the W Series this year, but obviously that has been postponed, but hopefully we'll see her out in that next year as the cars come through the right-hander of turns 7 and 8, fighting with Gregory Seguez. Seguez is in attack mode, so he is going to have the extra power there. But Jimenez it has out leading the way at the moment. Alice Powell doing well to keep with this group of 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
I would imagine it's going to be interesting to see how they play this attack mode, actually, because it became apparent, you know, the last couple of races that some of them were struggling to find where it was. I'd imagine Jimenez wants a little bit of a gap before he goes for that attack mode, because he doesn't want, when he comes back on the circuit, he doesn't want a big bunch to start overtaking. So it'd be interesting to see how Evans and Foster play that into their advantage, because he's not getting away.
It certainly isn't, and the attack mode here does bring you out, sort of back onto the racing line, so it gets pretty close at times. I think it was Alice Powell that ended up in a pretty close shave yesterday, I think with Takuma Aoki, if I remember correctly, but the gap came down on that last lap. Evans took 0.4 of a second out of Sergio Jimenez, but Evans doesn't exactly have a massive gap behind, because if the top two were clear, then Evans could take attack mode without losing positions, but he's not able to yet. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if before too long it's Alice Powell who's the first driver to take attack mode, because she's the one with a little bit of a buffer to the car behind.
Certainly, yeah, she's probably in the safest mode at the moment if she were to go for it. I guess Evans is kind of playing, or going to have to play into Jimenez's hands. It wouldn't surprise me if they go at the same time, maybe for the first one. If Evans can claw another 0.4 out of him in the next lap, you know, it's always best to be in front. So if he can just hang on to him, he might just have to copy his moves.
Here's a replay at the start. Fairly quiet, apart from Cacabueno, the 5th driver in the queue. Look at him. He knows what he's doing early on, doesn't he? Sends it all the way to the outside. Very late on the brakes. And Foster just drifted out wide to make sure Bueno didn't get him as well. But Alice Powell dropping from 4th to 5th position. A disappointing qualifying session for Cacabueno. Took the 2 pole positions in the 2 races in Berlin, but only 5th here in this race today. There's another look at the start. Evans nearly got done by Nick Foster, but Foster just couldn't quite get his nose ahead. There was Seguer's slow start. There you see 2nd and 3rd very close to one another on the run down into that first corner. There goes Cacabueno around the outside. Algasabi tried to get and did get around the outside of Takuma Aoki there, so that was a good job from the Pro-Am leader. And then everybody else side by side. Oh, look at this quad split start replay. So on the top left, we've got in the middle of the pack, I think that is going to be Cacabueno, isn't it, on the top left as he goes around the outside. Evans is the top right, then Abby Eaton is the bottom left, and then it is Nick Foster in the bottom right as they come through the first couple of corners.
That was a very nice move from Bueno. That was really, really nice. I'm impressed with that. That was good, solid. People, I'm guessing they're going to watch the race back, and potentially whoever's starting in the same place can do the same tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it was Felix Rosenqvist in the Formula E race here a couple of years ago tried to do that, but got it all wrong and ended up spinning and going into the runoff area. But Jimenez is leading the way, 0.6 of a second the gap between them. Again, Evans fractionally quicker on that last lap. Foster still there in 3rd place, Bueno in 4th. Alice Powell dropped half a second on that last lap to Cacabueno, so she's a little further away from this top 4, not hugely far, because she's still very much in the mix, but just a tiny bit behind. Is anyone going to use attack mode this time around? Through the right-hander of 4, then through the kink of 5, down to 6. We're on board with Simon Evans, running in 2nd position, 17 minutes plus a lap to go. And does anyone go for it? Oh, Evans? No. I thought he might be, but he was just actually a little bit later on the brakes. Powell? No. None of them. They're all keeping their powder dry for now. And there's an overtake further back, and that is Abby Eaton fighting with Gregory Seguers. So Seguers is still in attack mode. In fact, he's used both of his attack modes straight away, so he's got the extra power on Eaton, and as a result is able to get up and pass. But he's only got 30 seconds of it left, so once it's over, he's committed to using both his attack modes very early, basically, and get them out of the way, almost, and it's got him up to 8th position at the moment. Here come the race leaders down to the final corner, and Evans is really close now to the back of Jimenez. He's been 0.2 quicker on this lap so far. They come across the line. Sergio Jimenez does a 1 minute 26.3, and again, it's a 1 minute 26.2 for Evans, so Evans is looking strong at the moment.
I think it's about to get spicy, hopefully. Yeah, no, I think he needs to go for the move at least before he tries to go for the attack mode, especially if Jimenez hasn't. I'm sure he'll be, you know, it's when you're in the car, it's really kind of tough. You don't know when to go for it. Shall I go for it? Shall I not? But I think at this point he needs to just wait for Jimenez to go.
9 points the gap at the top of the championship after Jimenez took pole position in qualifying. But the gap between winning and second is another 5 points. So if Jimenez wins, then the gap would go up to 14. If Evans wins, the gap would come down to just 4, as we haven't had anyone. Oh no, there goes Abby Eaton, arming attack mode, gets it armed, gets into attack mode, and back on her way. Like you said, arming attack mode and activating it are very difficult. We saw Caca Bueno, one of the top drivers in the championship, struggling to do it yesterday, so it's going to be key to make sure you're able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, I spoke to a few of the drivers actually earlier, and they were, you know, struggling to get it to work. Maybe missing, I think that there's three
Yeah.
that they need to, and they were just missing the last one. So it's good to see that she's got it, and it looks like the Akoti, he managed to get it as well. So
yeah, absolutely. So we've got 15 minutes plus a lap to go. Jimenez still leading. Caca Bueno's getting dropped a little bit by these 3 as well. The gap between, he's now over a second behind Nick Foster, so he's a little bit adrift of the top 3. Not quite enough for Evans to feel like he needs to, for Foster to be able to have a clean and clear attack mode, but Powell is actually coming back into the fight with Bueno. Here they come down the back straight. Is anyone going to take attack mode this time around? They'll keep to the right and go straight on. No. It's going to be they're playing the long game here, aren't they? It's really going to kick off in the closing minutes. There goes Fahad Al-Ghassabi. Oh, no, that's too deep.
Oh, he must have missed that. He'll be very disappointed with that.
Just went a little bit too deep. He's doing a great job, Fahad Al-Ghassabi. Looks as though he's going to win the Pro-Am class, but that has cost him a spot there. Look how much Evans closes in under braking.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of him under braking, actually. Then loses slightly on the exit. But I guess he's just trying absolutely everything that he can to get past before he takes attack mode.
You could hear Al-Ghassabi's tyres squealing as he got on the brakes, just overcooking it a little bit into attack mode, so he didn't manage to activate it. Across the line comes Jimenez, Evans, Foster, half a second between each of them, a second covering the top 3. Really great to see Alice Powell staying with them as well, because she was curiously off the pace in the first 2 Berlin races, considering she's been a podium challenger before. You've had plenty of experience racing with her, and I was surprised to see her that far away.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Alice is a very, very good driver, and certainly had success previously in this championship, so it was a surprise to me actually to see her somewhat a little bit off the pace yesterday, but she's certainly finding it now and getting closer and closer to the pace. What she qualified for 3rd for tomorrow. So there's another improvement from her. So yeah, this is, you know, keeping up with the front pack. She's in this front pack. That's more what I would expect from her. But certainly, I'm sure she's going to be fighting for podiums, if not today, tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, well, I said maybe even because of her struggles, it might sort of work to her advantage when it comes to the reverse grid race, because she will have one of the lower scores out of the front runners unless something majestic happens tomorrow morning in the first race. So really good chance tomorrow for Alice Powell to get a good result. 12 minutes plus a lap to go. Still Simon Evans right on the back of Sergio Jimenez as they come out onto the start-finish straight again. Then it's Caca Bueno. Then there is Alice Powell at the back of the field in the RAN Racing Team Germany machine. They come across the line with 12 minutes on the clock. And we'll see if anyone goes for attack mode this time around. Very calm at the moment. Yeah. In fact, none of the top 7 have taken it at all. Alice Powell was the second quickest driver on the track that last lap. Only Sergio Jimenez, the race leader, went quicker. So she's lapping at the same pace as the leaders. Here comes Jimenez, Evans, Foster, Bueno, Powell, the top 5, all together in this, the 6th round of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Let's see if anyone goes for it this time. They've got to eventually, but not yet. It's just that concern, isn't it, about losing track position. Also, there's only 4 minutes overall of attack mode, and we've still got 12 minutes plus a lap to go, so sort of 13, 14 minutes left. There's the graphic says that Bueno's taken 1, but I don't believe he has. I think he's still got 2 remaining. So I think, like we say, Powell's going to be the first one, but I just wonder whether they're waiting till almost as late in the race as possible to take him.
Yeah, I'd say it's going to also be maybe a bit of a domino effect. Once one goes, then they'll all go. I think they're just waiting for Jimenez to just make the first move, to be honest, and he's probably hoping that he can lose the pack slightly just to give him a bit more breathing space, so doesn't come out in a big pack like they are now. But I don't think that's going to fall into his hands. So yeah, he's going to need to take it soon.
10.5 minutes plus a lap to go. There are times, aren't there, on the track where Evans gets right up behind Jimenez, and then other times where he just drops away a little bit. Thought Jimenez got a little bit loose there coming out of turn 3. That last lap, look at them, separated by 11 hundredths of a second. You're right, he's right up behind as they come out onto the back straight. Is anyone going to fancy attack mode this time?
He looks like he's just showing his nose, maybe trying to put him off a bit, maybe try and force him into a mistake, because fair play, he hasn't made him here. Oh no, didn't go for it. Maybe thought about it again, maybe just trying to pressure him into a mistake.
Evans is really close to Jimenez, isn't he? Even without attack mode, I'd fancy Evans to have a lunge at some point, but it's just a case of waiting till it's the right time rather than sending it out of nowhere, because we've seen in Berlin so far how firm Jimenez can be in defending his position. So the last thing he wants to do is get involved in a mix-up with his championship rival that could theoretically put Evans out, and Jimenez to take the win. Here they come onto the start-finish straight again. 9 minutes plus a lap to go. Algasevi is just ticking down to the final use of his attack mode down into turn 1. He really sends it in deep, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. It seems to be really great on the brakes, but then maybe slightly lose it on the exit a bit, and Jimenez maybe the other way round. But yeah, so close, I guess, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but at some point I'm sure he's just waiting patiently for the perfect moment, and he's doesn't want to throw any silly moves, and it's a long weekend, and I guess he's just picking the right moment.
8.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Here they come into the attack mode area again, and they all go straight on. So this is going to be right down to the last few minutes, isn't it? None of them want to give up that track position, which obviously is crucially important. Evans is really close here, and I'm sure he'd love to get ahead before the attack mode periods, because that would still be a net position gained. Late on the brakes again into the hairpin of turn 9. Jimenez, Evans, Foster, Bueno and Powell. The top 5 covered by just 3 seconds. It's a really, really close fight, and it just feels like it's bubbling away, doesn't it? And pretty soon it's going to get very, very interesting indeed. Nick Foster, the Kiwi, coming down the start-finish straight. Have a watch of Evans in front. Foster drops back a little to half a second or so.
Oh, is this him? Oh no, I thought I just saw him dink out there. Maybe thought better of it, thought about it again. I just feel like this is going to turn into a really crazy last few laps, actually.
Yeah. 7.5 minutes left. Into the left-hander of 3. Jimenez a little bit wider out of there, but well, look at that. 1, 2, 3, all for the lead, separated by less than a second. Down towards attack mode again. We've been waiting for 8 minutes now. We've got 7 minutes plus a lap to go. And, oh, I thought Evans was doing it now. Nick Foster is, as is Caca Bueno, as is Alice Powell. Oh, Powell looked a little bit wide, but she got it. I think the way it's positioned, you actually need a couple of wheels on the outside of the corner almost. There's a bit of debris on the circuit. Is it debris? Looks like something in a plastic bag or something, doesn't it?
But a packet of cable ties, actually.
Yeah. And Evans super late on the brakes, almost into the back of Jimenez, and that gives Jimenez a tiny little bit of breathing space. But now, what pace will Foster, Bueno and Powell have when they come back through the order, and what will Foster and Evans do in terms of not team orders, but perhaps working together to stop Jimenez?
Yeah, this is interesting, actually, because if they're able to overtake the front two, they're going to have track position, and then I'd say it's easier to defend a position than what it is to be the other way round. So it might work in their favour. Yeah, I think we're in for a tasty few last laps.
It's just 6 minutes plus a lap to go. Through the double right. And look how quick, you can see how quickly that Nick Foster has closed in. Here's a replay of, so did Evans go for it here, or
maybe just slightly outbraked himself. He'll be disappointed with that, because that's just given Jimenez a bit of breathing space.
I thought he was going into the back of him there, and I don't really know how he didn't, but he didn't. And there comes Foster to the inside at the same time. Evans activates attack mode. So now we've got the two Brazilians right together. It is Nick Foster in the lead, Bueno second, Jimenez third, Evans fourth. Powell is in fifth place, having taken her attack mode. She couldn't quite take advantage of them, although she's just at the fastest first sector of the race so far. So she's still there and involved in the fight, but Evans is still right on the back of Jimenez. Powell is there as well, but she's got less attack mode remaining. Are Jimenez and Bueno going to do a little swap once Bueno runs out of extra power? We'll wait and see. It'll be difficult to do because Evans is right behind. So Foster and Bueno in first and second are now out of attack mode. There goes Jimenez to the inside of Bueno. Now Bueno is going to go super defensive. There he goes, slams the door shut on Simon Evans, and now Evans is in a bit of a tricky position, but Jimenez is not in an easy position because he's got Foster in the lead of the race, who the two of them have had contact 3 or 4 times in the first 2 races here. So we're in for a fascinating last 5 minutes.
Is Foster going to take the
attack mode
this
time around?
Is he going to take it now? I think that might be a good idea if he does.
But if he does, will he lose position to Jimenez? Is he better off staying on the track and sort of holding up Jimenez a little bit? Caca Bueno does take it, as does Alice Powell, and that will mean we'll have a slow Foster up at the front. Jimenez and Evans trying to pass him, and Bueno trying to attack Evans from behind, if you can get your head around that. So,
maybe I'm wrong, but I think that might be quite a smart move from Bueno. I'm not sure. I'm no expert in this attack mode, but I just feel like that might turn out to be for the best, because these two are squabbling at the front and they're going to be losing time, whereas he's in his own air.
Jimenez to the outside, he's got the extra power. Oh, Foster sends it in super late on the brakes. They're going to bang doors here, and that's going to open the door for Simon Evans. Here they come down the start finish straight. Evans closing in. Jimenez is out of attack mode now, so that was his last chance, and Foster holds on to the lead just about, and that is good news for Simon Evans, because it gives him the opportunity to try and attack Jimenez. It was a really, really late lunge. Here's a look at the replay of it. Jimenez looked like he was past, but Foster said, no way. Look how far behind he is going into the braking zone. He's almost got a car length ahead.
Yeah, what great racing. Well, we thought it was going to be a tasty last few laps, and it so far is providing the goods, and I just think the next few laps are going to be good again.
Absolutely sent it. Nick Foster, great stuff. So what's happening now then? We've got Foster in the lead, Jimenez second, Evans third, and Jimenez now is the one, interesting. He's the one blocked in. He's now taken his attack mode and missed it. Simon Evans has missed activating his second attack mode, and that is going to cost him the race win. He's now just in front of Alice Powell, who's going to get through in a moment. Powell here could be on for a 4th place finish, but after such good work from Simon Evans, he and Foster getting into a good position up at the front. We said missing that attack mode could be crucial and might have cost Evans the championship. That's a bit dramatic, admittedly, but Jimenez is going to finish in front of him. There goes Powell to the outside. She's just going to run out of attack mode before she's able to pass Evans, I think, although she's got a good run out onto the start-finish straight here. Might fancy a look coming down into turn 1. So Foster, Jimenez and Bueno. Foster and Jimenez both have an attack mode still to use. Powell thinks about it, shows her nose. Not quite close enough, but that's going to be gutting for Simon Evans, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a mistake that unfortunately might cost him dearly. Will he go for it again, or will he not? Because I feel that's, the penalty is enough, I guess, by missing it almost, because he's lost a few seconds on the road. So will he go for it again?
Yeah.
Go for it again, I'm not sure.
Well, we've got 1 minute and 20 seconds plus a lap to go. Foster, Jimenez, the top two. Foster doesn't go for attack mode, Jimenez does. It looked as though Jimenez was basically going to do whatever, the opposite of whatever Foster did. Evans does arm it this time around. You've got to use it twice during the course of the race, and now it's Foster in the lead who's going to be the one under a bit of pressure here, because he needs to take it as soon as possible so he doesn't end up behind both of the Brazilians, because I think Foster, if he ends up behind both of the Brazilians, it's going to be tough for him to get past them both. But if he can just come out behind Bueno, who is now in front of Jimenez, then he's got a shot. Fascinating as we come over the line. This is going to be the second to last lap now, started by Nick Foster. There goes Powell. Powell's made the move on Simon Evans. Evans is in attack mode, so Evans now coming back in attack mode. So that's why Powell got in front. That's actually got him into 4th place. Evans now is able to get back through, up into 4th position. Now he's in attack mode, but he's a long way back from Jimenez, Bueno and Foster. Fascinating race this. Takuma Aoki still in 6th, Seguers 7th. Fahid Al-Ghassabi leading the Pro-Am class, only just ahead of Abby Eaton. And then Phil Spooner and Adalberto Baptista complete the 11 runners. Now, Foster's got to take it on this lap, basically. Bueno and Jimenez right up behind. Then there's the gap back to Evans and Powell. But where is Foster going to emerge compared to the Brazilians behind? Now, they're about to swap places, surely. Jimenez, oh, Bueno's defending. That's a bit of a surprise. And now through, oh, he's gone in deep, has he, Foster? He has. He and Evans have both missed it. And Bueno now is trying to defend. No, he's let Evans through. And up the inside goes Foster into the left-hander of 7. They're still side by side. Neither are in attack mode.
Well, you could see the frustration from the car and from Foster's car. He was whacking the steering wheel. You know, that must be so frustrating. He's done all that hard work only to make a small mistake and miss it. So, yeah, it's all kicking off now.
So they're going to be starting the final lap. Foster comes out of nowhere. Absolutely punts Bueno. That could give Evans a position as they come out onto the back straight. Evans has got a little more attack mode remaining. Evans is all over the back of Bueno as they come into turn 1. Jimenez, it is out in front. Evans wants to get back up into that 2nd place as quickly as he can. Foster's trying to go around the outside of Evans now. These two go side by side. And Foster, is he going to pull it off, or surely he'll bail out of that one and not take the inside? Is he still there? He is. So wow. Foster all of a sudden goes up into 3rd position, and Evans is down into 4th. And this is taking a huge hit to Evans' title hopes. If Jimenez wins and Foster is 4th, the gap between them that was 9 points will go up to 21. So a huge swing there.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, he's taking attack mode. Yeah, so that's going to have a you know, not a great effect on his championship position. He's just going to be a little bit further away. So he's got a lot of making up to do in tomorrow's race.
Yeah, 21 points would be a big. That's more than a race win, because it's 20 points for the win. And here now is Alice Powell going side by side with Nick Foster. Sends it in late in the day. Foster obviously had to take his 2nd attack mode, and they're both in the wall, and Powell's getting turned around. Tried to squeeze Foster a little on the exit, and that was only going to end one way, I fear. Here comes Sergio Jimenez out of the final corner now. The checker flag is waiting for the Brazilian, who takes a huge lead in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY series after victory in the 7th round in Berlin. Here's some more action as Foster is behind Powell. They're going to be at drag racing towards them. Sorry, it's not Foster, is it? Foster has finished up in 4th place. Across the line they come, and it is Seguers who finishes in 4th place, just ahead of Powell in 5th. So what happened to Foster at the end there? Because there he is, he's parked at the final corner. So Powell went around, still managed to finish 5th. Seguers finished 4th. Al-Ghassabi wins Pro-Am in 6th. Takuma Aoki finishes in 7th place. 8th is Abby Eaton. Spooner is 9th. Foster must have broken the steering or something, because he's not going to finish the race. There's a bit of damage out there, but Jimenez takes the win. A Brazilian 1-2. Jimenez ahead of Bueno, and that is the only, not since the first race in Diria now, have one of the Brazilians not taken victory. Well, that whole race, Jess, hinged on Simon Evans missing attack mode, didn't it? That's where it all went wrong for him.
Yeah, and that is really not the finish that Foster would have wanted. Yeah, really unfortunate for him. And that incident between Alice and him, I'd need to see it again, really, but I just feel maybe Alice just tried to squeeze him a little bit too much. But yeah, I need to see it again. Are we going to see it?
Well, here you go.
Here we go.
So Foster to the outside. He's on attack mode. Powell on the inside is in normal power. So Foster has got 20% more power.
Well, I guess she was quite far ahead. I mean, maybe she could have given him a little bit more room, but she was, you know, as far as she probably may not have seen him on the outside still there. But I don't know, maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But I don't know.
I feel she opens the steering a little bit. It's not like she's on full lock all the way around. Like, she definitely goes to take the racing line. But if you're going around the outside of the hairpin and you are behind the car in front, maybe there comes the time to back out of it. I don't know. I'm not the racing driver, you are. So.
To be fair, I would probably have done the same thing. If I was in both of their positions, I would have done the same thing.
So there is Sergio Jimenez, race winner in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Removes his helmet, and a 21-point lead now at the top of the standings. It was 9. He has just gained 12 on Simon Evans, although actually Evans finished 3rd, didn't he? So he's only gained 9, so the gap is 18 points at the top of the championship. So Evans finishing in 3rd means it's an 18-point lead for Jimenez, but we've still got 4 races to go, so it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Now, this was Foster on Bueno. That was a dummy lunge city. He managed to put it off against Jimenez, but I think that was a bit too far back.
It was a nice idea. It was a nice idea right at the last minute lunge, but I think it was just, you know, a bit too far-fetched. Yeah, I'm not surprised it ended like that, actually. But as I said, nice idea. I guess the championship's at stake, so he's got to, you know, if he doesn't go for those moves, I'd imagine he'd rather have said, well, you know, I went for it and it didn't come off, than say, oh, I didn't go for it.
19 laps of racing, Sergio Jimenez takes the win, 2.1 seconds ahead of his teammate Caca Bueno. Simon Evans 4 seconds away from Jimenez, down in 3rd place. Great result for Gregory Seguers, his best result in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Alice Powell in 5th position after that contact and spin, having been racing right at the front of the order. Fahad Al-Ghassabi finishes in 6th and wins the Pro-Am class. Takuma Aoki in 7th. VIP guest driver Abby Eaton is in 8th position. Paul Spooner in 9th. And then we had Adalberto Baptista finishing in 10th place. So championship-wise, there it is. 18 points now between Jimenez and Evans. Caca Bueno moving up the ranks. He's got ahead of Alice Powell now for 4th position in the standings, but still 4 more races to come, as I say. Takuma Aoki now in 5th. Nick Foster would have been ahead of Takuma Aoki, but not getting that car to the end of the race. Gregory Seguers gets his first big haul of points to move ahead of Mario Haberfeld in the Jaguar Brazil car. And as far as Pro-Am is concerned, Fahad Al-Ghassabi continues to build up his big lead. Paul Spooner is now up into 4th position, just 1 point behind Yachi Chang, only 11 points behind Adalberto Baptista, who he finished in front of today, only by 0.6 of a second actually. So Paul Spooner has the chance of catching Adalberto Baptista for 2nd position. Let's go hear from our race winner then, Vernon Kay.
Thank you very much, Sergio Jimenez. That was a race and a half, my friend. Talk us through the last couple of laps with the attack mode, please.
Well, I was the guy that everybody was hunting in the race, so I was expected someone take the attack mode, and I calculate that if I take in that time I did in the first one, I could have a completely lap with and half or 1 lap without. That's what had happened. I was not that fast, so it was very equal, the cars, and we see. Kaká did a different strategy. I think he picked up very early or before, then he was done with them. When I picked my first, he was the second already. And yeah, this is guaranteed for him the 2nd position. For me, it was hard because I have to pass 2 guys again, lost some time, and then end of the attack mode 1 here, I couldn't pass the number 9. But anyway, in the end, everything was good.
You've taken a little bit of pressure off yourself. 18 points now is the gap between yourself and Simon Evans. Simon seems to be struggling a little bit with the setup of his car. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, in the race he was okay. He was fast. I mean, when he's following someone, he's very fast in the behind, and he did very good qualifying this. And the other race he did not, so this is good for me. And yeah, I need to improve a little bit for the race. Today was not very good as was yesterday.
and in the qualifying. So now I need sit, work to be better tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much, Sergio.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Wow, Cacabueno, I mean, what a race. You were the first person to take attack mode in that gaggle. Obviously, that was going to be strategic.
Yeah, I tried to shorter gap and one positions when the other guys go there to the attack mode and keep my inside and fighting for the position. It works. Forster bumped me in the last lap. Almost lost the second place, but works well. The car is better than qualifying. Finish 5 is not good, but finish seconds is very good for me. We keep in the front. I'm happy.
Valuable points, obviously, as well. I know you're still hoping that there may still be a championship somewhere in amongst there. How likely do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to. I'm not racing in Arabia, 2 races, and I have a problem with the tires in Mexico, and Jimenez keep winning. It's difficult to shorten the gap. But I'm race by race. I'm more closer than Evans. Now I'm third in the championship, not in the last. I keep it trying. We have 4 fun races to do it, and we keep it trying.
Well,
keep pushing.
We're certainly going to look forward to the next few races. Thanks very much, Kaka.
Tomorrow.
Vernon.
Thank you, Amanda. Simon, you look a little bit dejected with 3rd place today.
Yeah, I think I just had the Team Asia New Zealand car in such a good position, and I just made too many mistakes. You know, I started off on the first attack mode, I braked myself once, and then missed attack mode, and then it just snowballed there. And you know, the car was awesome. I was real comfortable behind Sergio, and I felt like
Has the car been better today than it has in the previous 2 races here in Berlin?
Yesterday, no, I was just super strong yesterday. It was just a mistake in qualifying. No, the car's good. Unfortunately, it was just driver error.
It's very honest.
Times, yeah, but you have to be. I mean, I missed attack mode. How lucky was that?
Yeah.
And I made just simple mistakes that I shouldn't be making. But to still finish on the podium, I'm very, very lucky. I've got a tough qualifying tomorrow, so I just wish I could capitalise a bit more from this race.
Tell us what it's like facing these 2 Brazilians, because they love a battle, don't they? They don't mind getting involved.
No, they love it. It's fantastic, you know. I'm just a bit disappointed in myself. I couldn't be more in the battle today. But all right, I'll go home, I'll have a good sleep, and I'll come back fighting from 5th tomorrow.
Good man, we like that. Thank you, Simon. OK, Amanda?
Thanks very much, Vernon. Fahad, listen, you were the victim, if you like, of attack mode today, weren't you? But listen, you still won Pro-Am.
I mean, I'm having so much fun. We need to figure out what happened with attack mode. I think I might have come in a bit too hot.
Looked a bit deep, yeah.
Yeah, I went too deep the first time. Second time, not sure what happened. We'll need to look at the data. But overall, I feel like our pace is getting quicker and quicker. I'm having so much fun. And I think I just need to keep this up for a few more races.
Are you feeling confident about the Pro-Am Championship now being yours?
Hopefully, yeah. I just need to bank in another race or 2, and I should have a comfortable lead.
So what's going to be your strategy then moving into the next couple of races? Because really you have got such a commanding lead over the other Pro-Am drivers.
I mean, I don't know if I'd change anything. I just want to go into every race, perform my best. I don't want to be overly risky, of course. But I want to keep pushing my limits, having fun with the other drivers.
Great stuff. Well done, Fahad.
Thank you so much.
So Fahad Al-Ghazaibi, the Pro-Am leader, the comfortable Pro-Am leader. And now it is time for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY presentation. And we're going to have Evans up there, so understandably frustrated, really. As he said, just too many errors. And Jimenez at the moment is not making those errors, and he's got an 18-point lead at the top of the championship. And Evans has had the opportunity in the last 2 days to chip away at Jimenez's lead, but it just hasn't worked out for him. Cacabueno up for the 2nd spot.
Congratulations to our winner, Sergio Jimenez of Team Jaguar Brazil.
But Sergio Jimenez up onto the top step of the podium again. Delight for the Brazilian. And now the Brazilian national anthem for Jimenez. Only once this season have we not heard the Brazilian national anthem on the podium. Simon Evans winning the opening race in Diriyah. He collects his trophy. Second place for Caca Bueno. But another win for Sergio Jimenez, the reigning champion. On his way to making it 2. They'll be back up to spray the champagne in a moment, but first we will have a look at the highlights of the race, then it'll be the Pro-Am podium. But here's a look at the highlights of that Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY event on the traditional circuit. Caca Bueno in 5th place, doing a great job at the start, to the outside and right round the outside of Alice Powell. Almost got Nick Foster as well, but couldn't quite pull that one off. Very busy towards the middle and the back of the pack. But Jimenez, Evans, Foster and Bueno and Powell were the top 5 that tailed each other for the opening, really, 15 minutes or so. Waiting to see who would blink first and take attack mode first. They were all nose to tail for most of the race. It was really, really good stuff. And in the end, it was Nick Foster, Jimenez and Powell that were the first drivers to... Oh, little bit of closing off of the wing mirror from Adalberto Baptista, but it was those 3 that were the first to activate attack mode. Then Evans almost went into the back of Jimenez. Once we got into other attack modes, Evans was right up behind Jimenez. There was some robust fighting as Foster did all he could to keep in front of Jimenez with a very nice late move into turn 10. Foster then tried it on Caca Bueno. Didn't work quite as well. And then Alice Powell and Foster went wheel to wheel. Powell tried to squeeze him and got turned around. But Jimenez came across the line to take the win. 2.1 seconds clear of Caca Bueno in 2nd position. And Jimenez now 18 points in the lead at the top of the championship. Vernon.
Thank you, Jack. I've got a funny feeling that in a moment we're going to get sprayed by champagne, Amanda. But let's talk about the Brazilian one too. An awesome performance from the boys.
I'm very glad that you're so tall, Vernon, because I'm just going to stand behind you.
Yeah, that's socially distanced, of course.
Socially distanced, of course.
There you go.
That
Congratulations.
Was, without doubt, one of the best eTROPHY races I've seen. Some robust driving, I think it's fair to say. The stewards are going to be busy. There's going to be an awful lot of replays, I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few people burning the midnight oil tonight. There's going to be car repairs, but what a race. I mean, this goes to show, A, the quality of driving, and B, just how much everybody wants it.
Yeah, attack mode really came into play today. I feel sorry for Simon Evans because he's constantly chasing and chasing and chasing. And today, I think something wasn't right. I don't know whether it was the car or whether it was Simon, but he just lost that edge today.
He did. I mean, he made mistakes as well. You know, he outbraked himself whilst he was following Nick Foster, made the mistake trying to activate attack mode. And the problem is, once you start making mistakes and you start getting flustered in the car, it's then quite easy for those mistakes just to grow and for you to make more and more and more, because your mind is no longer on the game. You're no longer on the crest of the wave, so to speak. So yeah, it is hard for Simon. Thank goodness we've got a lot more races. I mean, we're sort of 2/3 of the way through the season, really.
Yeah, we've got Super Sunday tomorrow. We've got 2 races, round 7 and 8, which means that one of them, round 8, is going to be a reverse grid. That's going to be really interesting because all our series leaders are going to have to start from the back, and they're going to go through the rest of the pros and the Pro-Am. So that's going to be really, really exciting, especially how they use their attack modes. So make sure you join us tomorrow for rounds 7 and 8 of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. It's Super Sunday tomorrow.